Hello, Kate here from Faith, Hope and Laundry. Welcome to today's video. I wasn't thinking I was going to get anything out because usually I would have had my video out over the weekend, but it's been, a bit of a busy one the past few days, celebrating friends' 50th birthdays and things like that. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a chit-chat video today, and hopefully you will stick around for a little bit to, just to chat some things through with you. I'm quite excited. I've got one thing that I definitely wanted to chat through with you today, and I don't necessarily even have any it's not like a problem solving sort of video or anything like that. I'm probably most likely actually just keen to hear from any of you your own insights onto this topic that I'm about to sort of delve into. But it's Monday afternoon here. I've just finished work. It's about 5:30, I think. 5:45. And I've finished for the day. I've just got home, so I thought I would sit down and just have a little chat with you guys. I've actually got a focaccia bread that I just whisked up this morning before I went into work. So here it is here. It's nice and wobbly. You can see that. If you want the recipe, then I'm happy to share it with you. I have actually done a video with it before, but it's super easy. It's not a sourdough focaccia recipe. It's just using a dry yeast that most people will have in their cupboards. But I will get on with that after I've done this video and cook that up for the kids. But the thing I wanted to discuss with you today, and as I said, I would love to hear back from any of you who might stick along with this video, is about personality tests. So there's different types of personality tests. Myers-Briggs is one of them. Some of you may have heard of that personality test. The one that I have done more recently is called a enneagram. With my Kiwi accent, it probably sounds a bit weird. I'm not sure exactly how you say it, but enneagram. And I've just been really, it's just given me so much insight as to just who I am as a person, and the way I do certain things, and the why behind them, I guess, or maybe not the why behind them, but just a little bit more insight into my personality type, and explaining it a little bit more in depth. And it's something that I've heard about them in the past, but I've never sort of thought to do one. But I had a dear friend, my dear friend Abby, was over from the UK just in the past 10 days or so, and she came and stayed with me, and she was super excited about them, and her whole family has done them. A couple of my kids have since done their Enneagram as well. But it was just really exciting to just delve into that, and to do the the little online test. The one that I did was called Eclectic Energies, I think. I'll try and put the link down below as well. It's a free test, so anyone can go and do it. But there's a few different online ones, and you spend, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or so just answering the questions. The questions can seem a bit kind of odd. My son got a bit annoyed doing his one, and oops, hang on, I've just got someone knocking at my door. Sorry about that. Yes, so you answer the questions, and some of them have quite a lot of questions that you have to ask, but the more that the sort of the algorithm or whatever it is starts to pick up on certain answers and puts you into each type, then it gives you less and less questions as you are working through them. But it was so fascinating to read the blurb of my personality type based on what I had answered, and so accurate. And I was just kind of blown away, and almost just felt quite seen, I think. Yeah, that someone was actually describing, me, and little quirks, and things that we might experience, feelings that we maybe experience, or just things that we feel maybe on a real sort of just ground base level. And yeah, I just felt really, really seen. So sorry, I've just got a cat scratching at the door, so I'm just going to have to go and sort her out. One moment. I'll just leave the door open so she can just come in and out. Uh, what was I saying? But yes, I found it really, really fascinating, and I just would encourage you to go and do your own personality test and just see what it throws out at you, and whether you feel it is actually accurate. But something for me that it just really got me thinking about, uh, yeah, not only how I am as a person, as a personality type, but also just how it has just really foundationally, you know, set up, I guess, responses and the ways that I have maybe reacted to certain situations in my life. I'll read you a little bit about my description in a minute, but yeah, just those sort of relationships that we have, whether it's with family or friends, spouses, our children, our work colleagues, even. It would be great to do, personality tests, I think, in a work environment, because you would just be able to really recognize each other's strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, there's pros and cons to every personality type, but it just gives a huge amount of insight into like who you actually are as a person. And then you can start to sort of delve into it and analyze it a bit more, and maybe figure out, okay, well, why am I like that? I think, I haven't really done any reading into um, the backgrounds of how personality types even come about, but I'm sure it is nature and nurture mixed together, possibly even going back to when we are in our mother's womb, and maybe we are hearing things. I guess if there's maybe fighting in the household or something like that, we're going to be absorbing all of those feelings and that environment, even in the womb. And then most certainly our own parents' personalities that are coming through in us, and then the nurturing that we've had once we're actually born, and what that environment looks like as a baby and a child and a teenager. I'm sure all of that contributes to our personality type developing. But I just wanted to share with you. So my enneagram is a type 6, and that is called the loyalist. And then I had a lot of a type 9, which is just someone who is just a much sort of slower paced personality. And yeah, it is so fascinating. I'm going to read you part of my personality type. Let me just bring it up. Enneagram type 6s, the loyalists, we are called, and we have a lot of conflicted sort of feelings between trust and distrust. So what it's talking about in these personality types is a lot of this is actually just sort of grumbling under the surface of who we are. So we might not actually, if you met me or you met another personality type 6, you wouldn't necessarily know, first off, that these sort of feelings and undercurrents are there, that we're experiencing them, but they are. And I guess, some people can it might be very, overtly evident that these things are there, these undercurrents, and then others would maybe be able to hide it a little bit more. But for type 6, yeah, generally we feel very insecure just at the core of us, almost like there's nothing quite steady enough to hold on to. There's a lot of like undercurrent of fear and anxiety, and it has a very deep source, can manifest in a variety of different styles, making type 6 somewhat difficult to describe and to type. A lot of worrying, a lot of restless imaginings, it said, of everything that might go wrong. And this is it's just so fascinating, because I've always thought, like, I love anything to do with like the apocalypse, or what we would do if we had to survive in the wild and things like that. And I think that's all just rooted in just my personality type. And I actually used to work with one of my dear friends, Kath, and we used to like scheme together, what would happen if the end of the world came, and how we're going to, protect our families and get food and things like that. So I think she's probably got a little bit of type 6 in there as well. So that kind of made me giggle. But it says that the fact that you think that everything might go wrong, it also makes 6s gifted at troubleshooting. But it can, also rob you of a lot of sort of, peace of mind, and means that we're maybe not so spontaneous in what we do. So, I mean, there's a lot more written down here, but and then loyalty really, really came into it a lot as well. So loyalty in that it is just at the core of us, and this really resonated with me, because it really has I think described a lot of what I've experienced in some of past relationships, whether it's with friends or other close ones, just even if it's not healthy, that that I've still felt really loyal to certain people when they don't actually deserve that. And so it can be a pro or a con, that loyalty, that steadfast loyalty. So I think it just it made me just think, well, if we can know ourselves just a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and just have a true understanding about what makes us tick, I guess, and also the people that we love, our relationships could just be so much more healthy, and we could be so much more responsive to not only what we need, but also what others are needing. It means that we could work on those parts of our personalities that are not so healthy, but we know that they're there. For me, that would be just working on that undercurrent of anxiety that is just there pretty much all of the time, and it's not necessarily there for any particular reason. It's just there, but I know it's not it's not good. It's not ultimately healthy. And then what are the people that I have been really, really loyal to, and maybe they don't deserve that loyalty anymore. It's it just gives you a lot of, I think, food for thought. And and I just really would love that for you as well. Just to encourage you to to have a look at the personality type test, have a think about whether you want to do it. Maybe you have already done it, and have have analyzed and have some insights, and maybe have done some healing in some of your your own lives. That would be really, really wonderful. And it was also really cool for me to think, sorry, I don't know whether the lighting is so good here, I apologize for that. Just that there's like just billions of women across the world, and we we're just all of these, like, just these personality types, and we're living in all of these different places across the world. I'm in New Zealand, and then there's women that are just living completely different lives and lifestyles, on the tundra in Serbia, just these lifestyles that just are so foreign to us in the Western world. But at the core of us, we are one of these personality types, and we're all trying to just look after our families and run our households well. I even thought about the whole decluttering situation, where it would be fascinating to sort of delve into that a little bit more, especially because my channel is meant to be sort of leaning more towards decluttering and sort of looking at things that might help our household. But with our personality types, does it reflect on how we even can manage our homes or not manage our homes? I think that would be really interesting to look into. But we're just this wonderful melting pot of all of these women across the world with all of these personality types, and just all living completely different lives. But if we just had a little bit more insight into who we are, and the people that we are really close to, that hopefully our relationships could just be a lot more healthy than what they are. So I didn't intend on rabbiting on for this long. I apologize about that, but I just would encourage you to maybe do the test yourself. I have got 4 women who at the moment are my loyal watchers and commenters on my videos, and I just wanted to call them out because I'm interested to know if you ladies have done your personality types and what they are. I would love to hear a comment. I would love to hear from any of you who have watched my video this long, as to what your personality types are and maybe what you have learnt about yourself. So the ladies that comment on my videos often are Carolyn W 6095, Josephine Bell 6420, Anissa Hodgson, and then B. on a budget 8405, and then anyone else who would like to comment about maybe if you've done your personality test and what you have discovered, then I would love to hear from you in the comments below. So that is my little chit chat, my little just ponderings of the day. As I said, I would love to hear from you, but I hope you have a super blessed week, and I will see you very soon in my next video. See you.